Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you at. Greetings. This is Bobby. Back at you again. I'm on my little walk this morning. Thank God for another day, another blessing. Praise God for that. I just want to touch on some things with you this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, wherever, you know. And I just wanted to talk about overcoming some more obstacles that I was struggling with, such as cigarettes addiction and alcohol addiction, and why it took me so long to get through all that stuff, and how hard it was for me, because it was kind of hard for me to quit smoking and quit drinking, because it was something I loved doing. And but it got to a point where it was affecting my livelihood and my health. So I had to rethink it, because I had to ask myself, why was I drinking and why was I smoking, And so I realized when I was young, I was just dealing with a lot of stuff, depression and low self-esteem and anxiety. And I was just doing what everybody else was doing, trying to cover up for something they was hiding, And because the alcohol and drugs and the cigarettes, all that stuff, all it does is just mask of what's really going on. I had fun, I ain't gonna lie. I enjoyed myself, but it still was sort of a mask. It was like a mask, And for years, I struggled with drinking and stuff and cigarettes. And I never struggled with smoking no dope or nothing like that. I didn't too much, I didn't have no dope problem. I didn't like, drugs like that. And then I always was curious. I didn't like the way stuff did other people, I didn't like the effects of it, but I was an alcoholic, I was an alcoholic. But that was my choice. I drank beer and liquor. That's what I used to do. But it was kind of, wearing on me. So I had to rethink, and it caused me a lot of problems. And I tried many times to quit drinking and smoking, and I failed many times, because I will always have people telling me, ain't nothing wrong with drinking, it's how much you drink. And I found out that was some of the baddest advice you can ever get. And because I don't believe in no social drinking, because you can be a social drinker and you still alcoholic, because you're using that to boost you and relieve some kind of stress or whatever, and it's just a mask, and it brings out stuff that you normally wouldn't do when you were sober or you wouldn't drink it. Because most of the time, a lot of people that drink, I know they got anxiety, and when they drink a beer or some alcohol, it relaxes your nerve. And I found out from experience, that's the worst thing to do, is for your anxiety and your nerve, is to smoke and drink, because it only gonna lead you to, it led me to be codependent on the substance, alcohol and cigarettes. And it gonna make it harder for you and it made it harder for me because if I needed to get through a stressful situation, I would turn to the cigarettes and the alcohol. And even if you had to, some job you go to, you had to take your drink or swig to calm your nerve down. And it did that for years. And just trying to mask stuff that was going on with me. And just didn't know how to deal with it at the time. And after all the mistakes and the problems I had dealing with alcohol, I'm not gonna go into it because what happened in my personal life, that's my business. I can give you some of it, and I can tell you how I overcame all that stuff. And I got to a point where I was in a situation that I almost gave up. And my mother, her name Rose, bless her soul, she died back in January from COVID-19. And she didn't make it through, but she gave me some good encouragement, words of encouragement. And she knew how to lift you up out of things. And I remember I was in a situation and I told my mother, I said, I'm just gonna give up. I said, I'm just gonna give up and just go to jail. I said, I can't take it no more. I said, I need some help. And she told me, she looked at me and she said, baby, because I was in jail. She come down there to visit me when I went to jail. She said, baby, she said, don't give up. And she told me, she said, it ain't over. And that right there, that one little seed, that one little ounce gave me some hope. And I seen myself different. And I didn't quit drinking right then, but that stuck with me because it made me feel good. And it made me believe in myself again. And so at that point, I was praying and I was drinking and I was praying to myself. Didn't know how to pray, but I was praying within myself. And I started back going to church, and I was fasting and praying. And one day, after falling so many times, making so many mistakes, and people just done gave up on me, and I just went on to my knees and told God, I said, I can't take it no more. I said, I can't take this no more. Everybody done turned on me. People looking down on me. I said, Lord, I can't take it no more. And I'll never forget what day I quit drinking. And it seemed like God just took it and lifted up off me. And it was April 21st, 2010. That was the day I quit drinking. And the reason why I remember that day so much is because that same day they had the oil spill down there in New Orleans. That's how I remember. That's why that day's so significant to me. And I remember watching it, the oil coming through the water, and the smoke coming through the water, and the oil, the thing burning, and I just seen it. And this year made 11 years since I had a drink. And that next year, I think it was on May 11th, I quit smoking. And I remember how I quit smoking. Me, a guy, one of my friends I grew up with named Willie Wheeler. He dead now. And me and him made a pact. And we said we were gonna quit smoking. He said he had already quit one time. And I told him, I said, man, if I had quit like that, I wouldn't have started back smoking. And he said, man, he said, it's hard. So I said, well, let's do it again. So we made a pact. And I would fast off smoking, you know, for like 12 hours, 2 or 3 hours. And the roughest part was in the morning time. So one day, about a couple weeks later, we were sitting there at the job and I seen him smoking. So that encouraged me to start back smoking. I went to my car and started smoking in my car. And one of my co-workers named Maureen, she seen me, Miss Maureen seen me. And she was being nosy, watching me, because I had told her I was going to quit smoking. And she had already said, she said, I'm going to hold you to it. And she seen me. She said, I seen you out there. I know what you doing out there in that truck. I know you out there smoking. She said, come out there. And she said, come out there and let people see you. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. So I come to the guard shack. I started taking my breaks back at the smoke shack. And one day I was sitting out there. I had just went bought me a pack of Newports. They were about $5.50 a pack then. I had the Newport Kings alone. And she come out there and she grabbed my cigarettes out my hand. And I just lit one. I just opened the pack up, fresh pack. And she said, she said, you got to be a man of your word. So I was hot with her. That day, I was hot with her. And I don't even think I even smoked the whole cigarette. I threw it down, and I went back in, went to work. And from that day forward, I haven't had a cigarette. And I thank God for Miss Maureen. And sometimes, and I said that to say this because sometimes you gotta bring your problem to the light. And you sometimes, you know, I'm not preaching or nothing. You gotta bring your problem to God and let Him fix it. And He'll pinpoint it out for you. Because sometimes it ain't good to hide stuff. God can fix anything. Because I know if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be here. I never could have quit smoking, and I know He had to be the one to move on my mama and Miss Maureen to give me those words of encouragement. And I just want to tell somebody this morning or this evening, if you ain't got no role in your life, or Miss Maureen, my mama name was Rose, you got to get away from around people. They not encouraging you to do better. They putting you down all the time. You got to get away from around them. Because one thing about a friend, they going to tell you the truth. And they going to tell you, they going to encourage you to do better. And right now, I done made some mistakes, but I wouldn't trade my life, because I thank God for the struggle. It didn't feel good, but it made me a better man. It made me a better person. It was some slow growth, and I'm still growing. And but one thing I know, I'm real to myself. I don't have to pretend like I'm somebody else. I am who I am. And it's a continuation. And that's life. Sometimes it ain't always the one that's running the fastest that gets the best result. Sometimes the slowest one always get the best result, because if it's running too fast, it's growing too fast, something wrong. I don't care what it is. That's, you always be patient and be consistent. You're gonna fail, get back up. Yeah, how many times you fail? Get your butt back up. I failed many times. And that wasn't the first time I tried to quit drinking. And I had failed and made many mistakes. But I had always I had cried out to God. I mean, since I was young, teenage year, I had a problem with alcohol, but I always cried out to God. Didn't know how to cry, but I was yearning for God. And all that stuff, all those things I went through, it only made me a better person. I don't have to prove nothing to no one. I don't have to belittle no one. I don't have to manipulate anyone. I don't have to look down on nobody. I ain't got to be nobody else. I love myself. I'm going to say that again. I love myself. And I'm not always happy, but I'm happy. And I got some joy, because I thank God. I know what I'm in. And, I know why I'm here. I know I'm here for His glory. And so I just want to tell somebody, it ain't how fast you run. Just keep running. Just be patient with yourself. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall. Get back up. Get around some people that's going to encourage you, and stop looking at your mistakes and your failures, because everybody got mistakes and failures. So get back up. Try it again. And y'all have a blessed day.